Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your December 2019 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last half of December, and this reading is for the water sign. My hair is driving me crazy today, guys. This is for the water sign of Pisces for the last half of December. So that's Pisces sun, moon, rising, if your Venus is in Pisces, or if you are cross-watching for a Pisces. But as many of you know, general readings, because there's so many of you watching, always resonate a little differently. So if you know your other signs, sun, moon, rising, Venus, watch them as well, because they can provide more enlightenment and more clarification for you. So welcome everyone, welcome to any newcomers, and welcome back to followers, subscribers, those of you who follow me through all of my travels and journeys. I do work everywhere that I go, and I do travel quite a bit. So thanks for those of you who followed me on my last recent travels. And thanks for all your continued likes, shares, subscribes, support, feedback, and comments. Always appreciated and welcome. If any of you are interested in reaching out for a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the description link below for more information, contact details. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I offer a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, in types and lengths varying from 15 minutes up to an hour and a half. Love and romance. I do relationship compatibility readings, career, work and finance, general health and well-being, etc. I also offer 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look. And those are wildly popular at this time of the year, even though people order them at all different times of the year. I always get a lot of requests for them around this time of the year as we're transitioning out of one year and looking ahead at a new one. So something to keep in mind. Also, personal readings make great personal gifts for friends, family, and loved ones. So you may want to consider giving the gift of a personal reading during the holidays. So, okay, let's move right into this reading. Pisces, let's see what the last half of December is holding for you. Well, you just have scads of cards sleeping out here. If they come out in a clump, I put them back in, however. Okay, Pisces. We begin with the Page of Swords, followed by the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Cups, followed by the Two of Pentacles. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy is the Chariot. Pisces, it looks like you want to move ahead very single-mindedly and aggressively towards something, which is your overall energy, the Chariot, Major Arcana card, one of the most, if not the most powerful success card in the tarot, particularly when it relates to projects or career or business issues, but it can be emotional or relationships too. This represents winning at all costs, staying focused on your goals, moving ahead, sometimes even running over anybody or anything that gets in your way because you are so focused on achieving what you want. Generally a pretty positive card, often a positive card, but sometimes there's a bit of cautionary advice with the Chariot that sometimes you can be so focused on the end result that you just kind of maybe run over things or people, you know, in your pursuit of whatever your goal is. Because it looks like there's something that you want to move ahead on very aggressively, but you're caught in a dilemma of maybe not knowing what the right moral or ethical thing is to do about it, but still kind of maybe fantasizing, daydreaming about it. We have the Page of Swords with the Ace of Cups. The Page of Swords. So swords is governed by the element of air, and in the tarot this is the energy of everything that goes on up in our heads. I always think air and head and airhead, but it's not that. So the energy of swords, that air energy, is mental energy, cerebral, intellectual, psychological energy. It's about how we think, our perspectives and perceptions, our belief systems and ideologies, because that shapes the way that we look at everything and communicate with the outer world and people in that world. So it's about everything that goes on up in our heads: truth, illumination, insight, higher education and learning, the truth, doing the right thing. And pages can represent young people or children or messages. They're usually just starting off or at the introductory phase of a path, perhaps of learning. Sometimes the Page of Swords, and I'm getting this for at least some of you out there, sometimes the Page of Swords can represent being in a situation where you're facing a bit of a moral or an ethical dilemma and you're not quite sure, you're unsure because of the page energy of how to proceed, because pages are just starting off and they don't have a lot of experience in their area yet. So sometimes the Page of Swords can represent being in a moral or ethical dilemma, and I feel that's the case for at least some of you that I'm reading for here. So what is this about? Now the clarifying card for it is the Ace of Cups. So Cups is water energy, that's the element which governs the suit, and in the tarot this is emotional, watery, mercurial, emotional energy, emotions, feelings, also the area of our life that often deals with relationships, which is all about, you know, the mercurial energy of emotions. Aces represent the number 1, so they always represent a new beginning, the start of something new, or the new opportunity for something. So the Ace of Cups can sometimes represent new love and romance. It can represent the heart opening up again, emotional awakenings, emotional self-love even, the beginnings of the heart opening up again. Some of you may have met someone new that has really kind of sparked this Ace of Cups energy. For some of you, it might be the opportunity for a new project or work career related thing. But I am getting a strong sense of what's the right thing to do in this situation. So for many of you, like with a lot of the readings lately, it may be more relationship oriented, but for some of you it might not be. It might just be that there's an opportunity for some new beginning in your life that doesn't have to deal with love and romance, but you may be caught up already or committed in something else, and leaving that something else for something new you're not sure is the right thing to do. Conversely, some of you may have already be in an established relationship or seeing someone, and you may have met someone new, but you're already in a relationship, so you're like, wow, I feel like I really want to pursue this, but what is the right thing here to do? I mean, it's a general reading, so it may resonate for some of you in one area of your life. For others of you, it may resonate in another area of your life. So next we have the Seven of Cups, followed by the Two of Pentacles. So the Seven of Cups, more watery energy here. This is a very dreamy, illusionary sort of card. You can see that each one of these 7 cups is filled with what represents potential or promise, what might be, what could be, what you fantasize about it being. They're each filled with something beautiful and something perfect, almost impossibly so. And while we all need to have dreams and dream those dreams, sometimes the Seven of Cups, often the Seven of Cups, can represent fantasizing, building castles in the sky, daydreaming, but it never really manifesting into reality, because this is just water energy, and just water energy itself can't manifest something into reality. So this can be a card about, you know, sometimes I'm reminded with this card of like the young person who wants to be, you know, an astronaut one week, a ballerina the next, a doctor the next. Each one of those dreams and goals are realizable, but you have to choose one and then do the work and the effort into actually manifesting it into reality. Keeping it just in this dreamy, illusionary quality energy isn't going to make it real. And sometimes it can represent, you know, ignoring any red signs or things that need to be dealt with in order just to focus on, oh, it could be this and that and the other thing, when in reality it can't be. You need to decide which one of these cups is actually realizable and manifestable, if that's a word, if you can manifest that. Because it can be a card of not being grounded or realistic or practical about something. Particularly if this is about new love and romance. You know, it's kind of like being swept away. Now, clarifying that Seven of Cups is the Two of Pentacles, which can be a card about juggling a lot of different things, trying to decide between a couple of different things. Pentacles is governed by the element of earth, and in the tarot, the energy of Pentacles is about the things in our life that make us feel safe, stable, secure, or the efforts we put into acquiring those things, whether it's money and finances, property, real estate, assets, job, etc., or like long-term stable relationships, marriages, whatever it is that makes particularly the physical day-to-day structure of our life feel stable, rooted, gives us a sense of continuity. That's the energy of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles can represent juggling multiple things. Some of you, this might be a job thing. It might be that you have the opportunity, which looks almost too good to be true, of going somewhere new, but you're already committed or already in a job or a career path, and you're like, what's the right thing to do here? You know, maybe being in a moral or ethical dilemma because you're already committed elsewhere. Again, this could be relationships too. Perhaps you're already in a relationship. Perhaps that relationship has been going on for a while, or it's been having struggles. You've met someone new that sparked your attention, perhaps has shown they like you in return, and you're kind of caught up in that new energy, sparkly, you know, oh, it could be this, and you know, what your life could be like, and kind of juggling everything at once. But really there's this undercurrent of, you know, is the right thing to do, whether this is a relationship or work or career or something of that sort. It feels like you're already committed in something else. And something else is in front of you that you're kind of like, wow, that looks really great. Almost, again, too good to be true. And so you're kind of caught up in that and wanting to move forward on it. But at the same time, there's this element here of, what is the right thing to do here? Is this the right thing to do? You know, so kind of being in that dilemma. Let's see if we can narrow down what this is a bit. Clarify this. Page of Swords, Ace of Cups, Seven of Cups. I mean, the Page of Swords is also sitting right next to the Seven of Cups too, so moral, ethical dilemma, fantasy, illusion. Well, it could be all of this. What's the right thing to do here? The Empress, and right behind it is the Six of Cups. So what is this about? The Empress is about new beginnings, fertility, the time being right to plant seeds, self-nurturing, self-love, or self-indulging as well. The opportunity for a new beginning. The opportunity to plant the seeds to start something new. And then the Six of Cups is a card about, often associated with the past, childhood, reminiscence, nostalgia, people from the past, people, places, situations we have a historical connection to, roots of origin, where you grew up, parents, family, culture, identity, all of that sort of thing. I mean, it could be that it looks like something has come up perhaps from the past for many of you, whether it's a past job, a past relationship, and there's the opportunity for a new beginning or a renewal of something you thought perhaps was gone or was in the past. Again, this could be anything from job to relationship in a general reading. But there is still this sense that in going for this new thing, there might be a moral or ethical dilemma, which is a strong implication and indication, Pisces, that you're already committed in something or someone else. So let's pull one or two advice and guidance cards. What is the best way for Pisces to navigate through this situation, at least for the last half of December? The Queen of Swords and right behind her is Justice. These are both cards that speak about not making a decision based on your emotions, or not making a decision, not letting your emotions be the sole thing that makes a decision for you or drives the decision. Because Swords is that air energy, and it doesn't really hold much of any emotional energy. And Kings and Queens represent individuals who have reached the top of their suit, the top of their game, meaning that they've reached a point of mastery, self-control, and self-discipline over the character traits that are inherent or natural to their suit. So the Queen of Swords is at the top of the suit of Swords. She's worked long and hard to get to where she's at. She has a long road behind her, and it has not been an easy road. She's learned a lot of lessons, and a lot of those lessons have been painful. But she's at a point now where you can see the light on her brow, and the light on her sword is the light of truth, insight, illumination, regardless of what her feelings might be. This is a card of seeing something head on for what it actually is, which is what she does. She can see BS coming a mile away, and she has no patience for it. Been there, done that. The t-shirt's hanging in her closet. She's all about what is the truth, what is the reality, what is the right and honorable and integrity thing to do here, and doing that regardless of what her own personal emotions might be saying. She's all about doing the right thing and seeing the truth and the illumination of what the right thing is to do, independent of what the feelings are. What is the actual situation? And Justice is very similar too. Justice is the reap what you sow card. This is a card that says, you know, what you get out of this situation will be dependent on what you put into it. Justice is based on things being karmically equal and fair, which implies that it's based on what you put into something. So the cautionary advice with Justice is to act with as much transparency, honesty, honor, and integrity as possible, because that's going to be directly affected in how this kind of works out in the end. So this really is about doing the right thing, which may conflict with what your emotions tell you to do. For example, if this is a relationship, if you're already in an established relationship or commitment with someone, or a situation like a job, and you've made a commitment, the ethical thing to do, if you really want out of that commitment and into something new, the ethical thing to do would be to end what you're currently committed to before you move into something new. Because while it does happen that those two overlap, it's not the most ethical way to do things. And your advice from Spirit is to do things in the ethical way. If you're already committed to someone or something, and there's something new in front of you that you firmly feel is the best thing for you to pursue, then you need to do the honorable thing and end the current commitment or obligation that you're in order to do that. And that's your advice from Spirit. Interesting reading, a bit on the heavy side, and a number of them have been. Holiday season, relationships, a lot of emotional energy this time of year. So Pisces, that is your reading for the last half of December 2019. I hope that it brought you some perhaps validation or insight or feedback on something. If this reading resonated for you, or if any of them do, and you are interested in reaching out for a personal reading, just click on the description link below for more information and contact details. Email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be very happy to work with you. I can usually respond to initial inquiries within the same day or the first 24 hours, and scheduling is pretty good too. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. It's all that I do, and it's what I truly love to do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with both your schedule and mine to get readings out in as timely a fashion as possible. So shoot me an email if you're interested, and we'll go from there. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the January 2020 general readings. I hope in the meantime that you all have a wonderful and blessed holiday season. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.